Welcome to another Bitcoin update. So this is a wave revision of epic proportions because the way that I have now detailed this particular move is absolutely extraordinary, and it's actually quite amazing what is happening here when you look at it from this perspective. So having a look at this particular move here, right? This one here, to me, I have come to the conclusion it's a zigzag. Now, as I mentioned in my previous idea, linked below for Ethereum, I've started using crypto. I've started getting into it and trading it, learning about it, and just really getting myself immersed in it in order to understand the magnitude of importance that it holds at the moment in this particular environment since 2009 and what we're seeing moving forward. Now, I did say we are trading a B wave, but now the way that I observe this B wave, it's actually quite massive, right? Now, is it a bubble? Sure, you could say it's a bubble, but bubble still has to travel a certain distance in order to complete the wave that we're in. So I know that this seems like pretty crazy, but it's only because of the mania. It's also because of the hype. For whatever reason, this thing is popular. Now, if I'm to look at this market from this perspective, I have some new price targets, right? So if this is an A wave, what comes next? Then that's the B wave. Zigzag, right? The B wave zigzag gives us a price target using wave A as the first move up. Now, this is where I had to really put on my thinking cap over the last week, and I've come to the conclusion and now understand why there's such a ridiculous price forecast for Bitcoin. And it's because this one is the first part of a zigzag which is unfolding. Okay. Now, what target do we have in this particular case if we're looking at it like this? Well, the answer is $500,000. Okay, USD. $500,000 USD per coin. Okay. Now, this is pretty crazy, right? This is absolutely insane. But does it really matter if it's insane? As long as we are abiding by the rules, then it's not insane. It's literally just a really massive expanded B wave. Okay. Now you can see that wave one was sharp, right? That's an impulsive move, right? And what comes next is wave two. But wave twos can be expanded to the upside. So taking this as a zigzag, that's where we get the price prediction, right? Now let's just move over to a different chart for a moment where I've got different labels. Now we've already determined what this pattern is. So now we need to look at how it's unfolding, right? Now, not always easy to understand this pattern. This is my interpretation at present of what this pattern is. Okay. So at this point in time, we have seen a 1-2. Now, still got my old labels on here because they're impulsive moves, right? They're 5-wave moves and they're still within the rules. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 of 3. And then I do believe this was wave 2. And then since then, we've seen wave 1 of the third of a third wave, right? So very interesting indeed what's going on at the moment here. I do believe we're seeing an unfolding zigzag, right? So A, B, C, and then we're going to see the rest of the the correction unfold, right? But it's just, look, I had to get involved in it to feel it, to understand it. And then I took a week off looking at charts, and I came back and I thought about this in a different way. So to me, I've started trading, cryptos, and now I'm actively involved. But what I want to do is trade the short-term moves by buying when the move goes up, and then basically converting back to USDC when I expect to move down, and just continuously doing that over and over again. Now, it's not going to be easy, but it's doable. In this case, you probably shouldn't be holding on because it's correcting, right? And then there'll be a time to move up again. So going into giving this a closer look at here, I do think that we're going to see some a bit more upside here in order to complete the B wave. However, we could still be within the B wave of this zigzag. So if we're having a look at this as a wave A, we're still in wave B, right? And then we could see wave C, and then we'll continue to correct for a little while until we get basically the full zigzag, right? So I'll be tracking this now. I'm actively involved in trading it, and I just do believe that it's actually going to be quite interesting now that I've got this new view, because I've immersed myself in it. And due to the volatility and price action, I do think that it's wise to continuously trade this and not just hold it. You can just hold it. Obviously, that's not a problem. But I'm just going to be following the peaks and troughs and the corrective portions, because I just do think that this is a very critical time to, basically turn bullish, especially when you have a $500,000 target. Now, even if I'm wrong, why would you give up that opportunity to do that anyway? Because that is quite a substantial move anyway, percentage-wise. So part of the reason why I've turned bullish is because this wave was too long to be a wave C. Initially, I thought this was a B, C. This is already too long. Now, I did say that once we saw this area, we'd see a move down, but given that the move hasn't been sharp, it hasn't displayed the characteristics of a reversal, we would have had to see a move that was sharp like this down, but we never saw it. So in order to continue the analysis, I have to change my view, because obviously when I'm wrong, right? But when you have such a huge price target, it doesn't really matter anyway. If you're trading this thing, you could still make money. Simple as that. And if you're holding on since the beginning, absolutely fantastic, right? Now, I'm only the kind of person who turns bullish once I've seen enough evidence to suggest that that's a good idea. At this point in time, using also Ethereum's price action, I am confident that Bitcoin will go to $500,000 a coin. Okay, and it's simply put because it's a measured move by taking the A wave and extending it out from the end of B wave into the future. Okay, that's pretty simple for me. That's how I get the price target. It's a nice round number, and it's definitely going to be a psychological level. Now, what happens after this? Well, that's anybody's guess. However, it's still going to be tradable no matter what happens. So very interesting indeed. I've come to this conclusion. I'm no longer going to be turning bearish on Bitcoin because I just have not seen the proof, the evidence that it's going to reverse. I had to play skeptic because if we are to be bullish all the way to 500,000, we need to have all of the proof and we need to have all of the evidence to support that view. Now, the only thing that I find weird about this B wave is that within the B wave was a sharp type 2 expanded zigzag. Now, I did have this idea once upon a time, but it makes sense. It's not necessarily ideal, but to me, it still fits with the idea that basically this is an A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so the confirmation of this was around this area, 10,000. I do believe a lot of people bought in around this price, and I suppose now is the time to go bullish. Now, if you're trading something, you're buying and you're selling and you're getting in and out, hey, that's not a problem. Hodlers, I suppose, at the end of the day, they're just hodling. But I'm going to try and focus on the dips and go in and out of positions when the corrections come. Obviously, ride up the impulsive moves. And basically, we're going to see a pretty impulsive move because don't forget, this is a third of a third wave, right? So a third of a third wave, you're going to see something like this happen, right? You're going to see the correction occur, and then you're going to see a move straight up like this, right? And then correction occur, move straight up like this. Oh, hang on a sec. Move straight up, correction. Move straight up, correction. Move straight up. Something like that. Obviously, there might be another move like that. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's going to be exactly 500,000. It could go above or under, but I reckon it'll go over. It'll overshoot for sure because of the absolute mania. And so at the end of the day, my idea would be to trade the mini moves within the corrections, trade the impulsive moves up, cash out, trade the mini corrections, impulsive move up, mini corrections, trade them up and down, impulsive move up, and it's rinse and repeat basically. Now that we have the actual idea of what's going to happen in place, then it's just basically going to be a matter of tracking the waves, getting in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, all the way, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see this unfold. This is not exactly how it's going to occur. Obviously, I can't tell you the future, and I'm not a financial advisor. So please only take this information as a guide. Personally, I will be going in and out because just to be careful, just to be safe. But I've seen enough evidence now to suggest that this is going to go parabolic soon. And it's going to be pretty crazy, right? But it's going to be bumpy. I'm not saying it's not going to be bumpy, but I guess you understand already what's going on here. There's no need to really say much more than that. To me, it's a B wave still. I'm not changing my view that it's something different. It's not, in my opinion. And then once we get to that target, I do believe there will be a reaction to the downside, which will coincide with the topping out of global markets. And I do believe that by the time that this market tops out, I reckon you should be in cash only. stay in USDC at that point. Wait for the complete correction, which I do have an idea of how that's going to play out, but I won't get into that in this video because, yeah, there's going to be an opportunity to buy again at lower prices in the future. It's going to be a roller coaster ride. So this thing, it's just beginning. And the reason I say that is because we're still in wave 2. We're basically halfway within a wave 2. So, I mean, there's just going to be so much more happening with this coin and many others, of course, cryptos in general, but not just cryptos. It's going to be global markets, and there's just going to be so many opportunities in the future for so much to happen because of course, the excessive money printing and probably hyperinflation that's going to come. But in the meantime, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's understand that we are about to see probably the strongest part of this entire move unfold after this correction. So hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.